Hey guys, Armedfro here again. Got another battle. This one is actually the first legit Pokemon Wi-Fi battle on Smogon's Battle Finder. I swear to God, why are so many people using Suntanes? But this is against DrakeCPKMN. I sent out my lead Dragonite. He sent out his lead him on top, which is actually really interesting. He went for the Intimidate. We both switch out into our Jellicents, both females. Mine has a more awesome name because I think he meant it for his to be male, but. This is faster than me, which is really weird. I'm going to switch on my Heatran, and now I'm all caught up. So right here, I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks as he switches into his Dragonite, predicting my Stealth Rocks. Very good move on his part. I can't really stay in. I can't go for the Protect because I don't want him to set up Dragon Dances or set up a sub on me. So I'm going to switch into my Shaman, either go to predict the Earthquake, and that's my cell phone, to either predict his Earthquake or predict a physical move, because this is a physical Shaman, defensive Shaman. I'm going to go for the Hidden Power Ice. I love this Shaman so much. But right here, he actually goes for the Dragon Tail instead of setting up, which is really good on his part. But right here, I'm going to go for the Outrage. I really could predict a switch into his either Jellicent or his Skarmory, but just Outrage is a better move and all, just because I want this Dragonite dead. Dragonite is the strongest threat in the metagame right now, and so he switches into his Skarmory. I'm going to go for the Outrage, and right here, he just decides to set up on me. There's nothing really I could do here, but Outrage is actually doing a pretty hefty chunk, but sadly he does have Roost, so he could actually just bring everything back. So right here, he's going to go for the Roost, as I can't really do anything. I'm stuck in. I was stuck in Outrage, and right here I'm going to be forced to switch. I really cannot stay in here. Go for the Heatran, as he actually predicts my switch very nicely. Goes for the Whirlwind, and brings out my Dragonite again. Lucky for him, but I do have the Fire Punch. So what I'm gonna do is gonna go for the Fire Punch. He doesn't have Sturdy, but he actually predicts my Fire Punch. It goes into his Monopoly, which is the female Jellicent, which is an interesting name for that. But anyways, because the male has the mustache, but whatever. I'm going to go into my Shaman, as he actually goes for the Will-O-Wisp. It doesn't really matter. I have Natural Cure, and Will-O-Wisp doesn't affect me that much, but I really need to go for the Seed Flare. This Jellicent is actually kind of a threat to my team, threat to all my team, but he actually predicts my Seed Flare, goes into his Rachi. Right here, he gets special defense output. Doesn't really matter against my Shaman. I do not have Earth Power. I do have Leech Seed, though. So what I'm going to do, he can't really Body Slam me. But you know what? I'm going to go into my Aladdin, predicting the Stealth. Actually, honestly, I predicted the Iron Head or something like that, just to try to get the burn damage racking on me. But right here, I'm going to go for the Earthquake, I do believe. No, go for the U-Turn. Because I know he'd predict the switch and go into Skarmory, so I can easily go into my Ninja Star. I do have the Thunderbolt, and I have the Hidden Power Fire, and I'm thinking, you know what, Thunderbolt is going to do more damage, so I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt. I should have gone for the Hidden Power Fire, predicting I would have done damage to a lot of his team, but the Thunderbolt's not going to do jack to his Roserade, and right here, I just have to go for the Ice Beam. Again, should have gone for the Hidden Power Fire. Just do good damage to any one of his guys. But now I'm looking at my two attacks, Surf for Hidden Power Fire. Surf has higher base power and a stab. Hidden Power Fire is going to do 10 less base power, even with the super effective damage, so I'm just going to go for the Surf, as he actually body slams me. Get the Parahacks, which really sucks. Now he goes for the Wish. I'm like, fuck. Oh, God. Now he's just going to either Iron Head me or just switch into something to need the Wish, but sucks for me because the Wish is going to Wish past to him. And I'm thinking he doesn't have anything to set up on me. He's just gonna try to body slam my poor little plush doll. So what I'm gonna do is go for the Iron. No, I'm gonna go for the Elite Seed. Really sucks because Iron Head flinch, and I'm thinking here, you know what? I'm gonna go for the Protect just so I can take another one. And his Iron Head is not doing a lot of damage. And so if I get Leech Seed, I could just get residual HP and just slowly get the advantage on this guy. But he gets the Body Slam here. Again, doesn't really affect me too much because Shaman's already kind of slow, and I have Natural Cure if I want to switch out. But I get the Leech Seed on this guy, which is really good. because he knows his Iron Head is not doing that much damage to me. So he's obviously going to switch here. I'm going to go for the Seed Flare, predicting his Jellicent switch, but he switches into his Roserade. It's going to resist my Seed Flare, and my Elite Seed's not going to do jack, but I thought I got the special defense drop. So my Hidden Power Ice, I thought was going to do a lot more damage than it does here. Roserade has Bomb special defense, so he's going to take the Hidden Power Ice very nicely, but is going to be a 2-hit KO, so he is not going to set up his second layer of Toxic Spikes, and I'm going to go for the Hidden Power again. I need to kill that Roserade, but the Jirachi comes in, and sitting here, I'm like, God dang it. Hello, but now I'm paralyzed. He's in the perfect position to try to paraflinch me to death. Sadly, I try to protect to get more HP, but I get paralyzed. I swear to God, this Shaman loves being paralyzed. God dang it. But here, I'm going to go for the Protect just to get a little more HP. If he goes for the Wish, I could either predict what he's going to switch into or just go for the Seed Flare just to fire off one in general. But right here, I'm just going to try to get Elite Seed off. But sadly, the paraflinching is going to be too much for me, and I can't really switch out because the 2 layers of Toxic Spikes, and Stealth Rocks, and Toxic is just not going to be good for me to switch out of. He's going to go for the Wish here. I'm going to predict the switch. Just go for the Hidden Power Ice, figuring that he's going to switch into his Skarmory to see how much damage I could do. It's not going to do a lot because, again, this Shaman's very defensive. That means it doesn't have that many investment in special attack. So here, I'm going to go for the Protect. Just get a little HP as he predicts my, either predicts or he knows I can't really do anything to him. Goes for the last layer of Spikes. So he's going to go with the Brave Bird here just to KO my Shaman, which really sucks. But right here, I can easily go into my Jellicent. The really only thing he has for my Jellicent is his Jellicent. And unless he has some speed investment into his Jellicent, I can find a way, and I'll find a way to win the speed tie and just go for the Toxic. But here I'm going to go for the Scald. He actually Whirlwinds me away, which really sucks, because now he's going to switch into his... force me to switch into Landorus. So right here, I'm going to go for the Stone Edge, because I want to get some damage on that Skarmory. I thought he would go for the Whirlwind again, but he goes into his Hitmontop. And that's not going to do jack squat, mostly after Intimidate, and it's going to resist. And so here, I'm going to predict his Rapid Spin or his Close Combat to predict my switch. He actually goes for the Rapid Spin and go into my Jellicent. I know he can't really do anything. He might have Sucker Punch, but I'm going to go for the Recover here just to see if he does have the Sucker Punch. He actually switches out, which shows me that he doesn't. And so now he switches into his Roserade. I'm thinking here, you know what? He might predict my switch for him to go for the Giga Drain. I'm going to go for the Ice Beam. I know I can take a Giga Drain from this guy because he probably is mostly special defensive investment. But he actually predicts my switch, goes for the Sleep Powder, and the Ice Beam is going to take him out from where he's at, which is really good for me. So really, this is pretty much a comeback kid moment. So now he's going to go into his Monopoly. I don't know if he has some speed investment, but he outspeeds me every single time with this taunt. And so I'm going to predict that he's going to go for the Will-O-Wisp or some move, hopefully Scald, so I can get Water Absorb. But I just need to stay in right here, right at this moment, and just wear off the taunt so I could find a way, an opening, to bring in my Dragonite and go for the Outrage on this guy. So right here, I'm going to keep on going for the Ice Beam as he goes for the Will-O-Wisp. And taunt is actually a lot shorter than I thought it was. I think it's shorter in this metagame than it was in the last metagame, or this generation, last generation. But the taunt wears off, and I was thinking he's going to predict my switch on my Dragonite and go for the Will-O-Wisp or go for the taunt. But he actually goes for the taunt, which really sucks. And so right here, I need to make myself an opening. So what I'm going to do is actually switch into my Heatran on his predicted Will-O-Wisp. He actually goes for the Will-O-Wisp, which is really good. No, he actually goes for the taunt, but it doesn't really matter. And I can't even go for the Protect to get a little more HP back. Even going the green, but you know what? I'm going to predict the Scald, go into my Jellicent just to get a little more HP on this guy, and to force him to go for the taunt. Because that's really all he can do against this guy, is just go for the taunt. And so right here, I'm actually going to predict his taunt and actually switch into the Dragonite. And this Dragonite is just gonna hopefully wreck this Jellicent with a Banded Outrage. I'm thinking about switching Jolly into Adamant. I mean, it's gonna do a little less speed, but the attack is just gonna be so ridiculous. It's not even funny because the Jolly Banded Outrage is not gonna kill. But right here, sadly, he burns me with the Will-O-Wisp, and really all I could do is just stay in, go for the Outrage, as he actually predicts my another Outrage and goes into the Rachi. Obviously, he didn't predict that. I'm stuck in Outrage. So, right here, I have to switch because I really don't want this Jirachi to heal any more HP. And so what I'm going to do is actually going to go into my Heatran. See, the last guys he has is this Skarmory, this Rachi, and the Hitmontop. The only thing I'm really threatened about is the Hitmontop and the Jellicent actually recovering from this Wish. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go for the Earth Power. I don't even know why I have Earth Power on this guy. I should have Toxic, but in this situation actually worked out for me to have the Earth Power instead of Toxic. And actually against Sun teams is actually very useful. But here the Jellicent dies. He brings in his Hitmontop. I'm actually going to go for the Fire Blast. Actually, no, I'm gonna go for the Protect on the Switch to see if he has the Close Combat or if he has the Mach Punch. But he go for the Protect and on his Switch, was just really interesting. And now he has to sack some guy, and this Skarmory seems to be the less useful because one Fire Blast and he's gone. He could go for the Whirlwind. He probably went for the Whirlwind just in case my Fire Blast missed. But right here, he's gonna go back into his Hitmontop. I'm actually gonna go for the Protect again, just to get a little more HP, see if I can predict his what he's going to do. He goes for the Close Combat, and I'm thinking, you know what? He might predict my Switch, and I'm going to go for the Fire Blast again, just to get good damage on this guy. And the Fire Blast doesn't kill. It is a very defensive Hitmontop, but the Close Combat will be able to take me out from where I'm at. All I have left is my Jellicent, my really weak Dragonite, and my Landorus. This Landorus, as long as he doesn't switch out, bring his Hitmontop back out, it should be able to sweep. So I'm going to go for the Earthquake on this Hitmontop, and it KOs it, and all he has left is his Rachi. And I'm thinking, oh my god, if he goes for the Body Slam and a Parahaxes me, he wins. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if I can get some damage off with my Dragonite. As he goes for the Body Slam, the Burn will be able to take me out. And I'm thinking like, oh my god, that was such a stupid move. Please don't say that I lost the game because of that. Because all I'm going to do is just switch in my Ruto, the Spikes and Stealth Rock damage, and his Iron Head will be able to take me out. I'm like, oh, dang it. And he's doing Leftovers Recovery. Crap. Come on, Landorus. One hit KO this guy with Earthquake. One hit KO. I go for that Earthquake, and it goes down. Minuscule HP he lives. He goes for the Body Slam, and he doesn't get the Parahack, so I will be able to take him out with the Earthquake. So very good game, DrakeCPKMN. Very good match. Thanks for watching, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and as always, stay classy.